So Ngapuhi is the country's biggest iwi. Their treaty settlement could potentially be worth $250 million, making them an economic powerhouse. But the path is fraught, with tribal heavyweights squaring off against each other, as we mentioned earlier. Our reporter Yvonne Tahana asked Treaty Minister Chris Finlayson for his thoughts.
Tēnā koe, Minister. In that story we met with Ngapuhi people living in tents and garages. How will settlement really change these people's circumstances?
What I think will be the most effective mechanism for changing people's lives up there will be a settlement that incorporates a social accord like we have with Te Hiku iwi. And since we signed that accord with them, Paula Bennett's been up there and she's underway. When I signed a deed of settlement with Ngāti Whare and went to Te Whaiti a year or so back to give the apology, I said to Bronco Carson I wanted to get stuck in on the Minganui front, and we're doing it. So get to settlement, sign an accord like that, and we'll be able to address some of these issues.
One kaumātua talked about Ngapuhi's fighting genetics, and we know there's a scrap going on up there. How far away until you actually get to sit down and negotiate?
Well, the ball's in their court really, Yvonne. They can go on scrapping as long as they like, and all it will do is delay settlement. Or they could put personality issues to one side and decide to work together, and then I think they could surprise themselves how quickly the commercial component of the settlement could be achieved. Now look, there are going to be very, very important cultural negotiations as well. The other day on the plane I read the Tribunal's report on Ngāwhā Springs. Those sorts of issues are not going to be solved overnight, but I really do believe if people put aside petty personality differences and focus on the commercial element, we could move very quickly.
If a hapu such as Ngāti Hine were to withdraw from treaty negotiations, can you clarify what happens to it in terms of settlement?
Well, I don't want to dwell in the realm of the hypothetical with the greatest of respect. I'm aiming to go and have a chat with Ngāti Hine in the next few weeks, and we'll see where we get to.
You completed the Tūhoe settlement, and that hit some really rough patches, but there was probably a higher degree of tribal unity down there. What's the degree of difficulty on this one? A 9.9, do you think?
Well, there were challenges, but because of the quality of the negotiators, on both sides, frankly, we managed to address the issues, and then we found that once we defined them, they weren't insuperable. So the best advice I could give Ngapuhi is to go and talk to Kirsty Luke, whom they know, and Tamati Kruger, who's a class act, and see how to do it.